Hello, welcome to this video by Indicator Vault. And in this video, we're going to go over the trend pulse indicator. And here we are on the Treasury bond hourly chart. And what this indicator does, as the name suggests with, trend pulse, in knowing that how trends move, they are not just one straight line, something like this here, this very strong move up. Yes, this would be an uptrend, but it doesn't just keep going up and up and up just like this. We see it, as a retracement, another impulsive move, then a deeper retracement, and also it's going to range some, like probably right around here. You would probably call this some consolidation, especially if you also took into some of this here as well. So it has an ebb and a flow. And so what this indicator does is it's got its own oscillator here, but it's also taking into account divergences and even some candlestick patterns to give insight on when a trend is about to change and about to shift. So for instance, starting here, we see the sell signals here paint. And so we kind of have this downtrend. We see the impulsive move down, then some consolidation, some ranging, and then impulsive move down again. And now it is picking up, with its algorithm, picking up that the pulse of this downtrend should be coming to an end soon, and we should start to see an uptrend. And of course, that's what we see here. We get the signal here, this impulsive move, retracement, some more signals, strong move up, retracement, super strong move up, and then a very quick retracement, and not much of one either. In this whole range here from top to bottom does not even get down to the discount area before we see another move up. So I'm going to go over just some ways we can pair this with some other indicators and just some logic for how to use it. And of course, most popular way, or really the most, I should say, fundamental way that I use is just finding the current range price is in. So we see this buy signal telling us that, these impulsive moves or expansion moves down for the downtrend is probably ending soon. And then what do we see? We see a range created. Let me zoom in some here. And so I'm anchoring the fib from this low to this high. That's the range price is in. We see the retracement right into the discount range, or the discount area of the range, only wicking below it before we see the next move up. Of course, we do see a deeper retracement here, but we have no indication yet that it's going to change, or that a downtrend is going to start again. So believing that this low will be intact, the logic would have still played out, where we're not now changing our bias just because of a deep retracement. The uptrend is still intact here. And of course, that's what we see. Super strong move up here, retracement, and some more strong moves up. Now, another indicator that can pair well with this, it's just a generic indicator of the parabolic support and resistance. And this can even help you filter out exactly when maybe a top or bottom is going to be in. And of course, this is the same price action here. I'm going to get rid of that to clear up the chart. So for instance, we see these sell signals, telling us that the pulse of this up move, of this uptrend, is going to be coming to an end soon. But of course, we see, a higher high created here, and then even another higher high created here after this sell signal. Now we do eventually see it play out, with this strong move down, some consolidation, and then another strong move down. But with the parabolic support and resistance, we have conflicting confirmations here. Since this is now telling us it's in an uptrend with these dots below price action and ascending upwards. So we are waiting for both to come into line, and be confluences for the downside together and not conflicting. So with both of these here, it is still giving us, the alert to start looking for down moves. And so the trend pulse is correct in that the down move is coming very soon. And then the parabolic SAR starting here is giving that confirmation that, okay, now price is ready to start its downtrend. And so right here, as this candle closes, we would have had it starting here, with the dots above price. And then right after, we see these two strong, sell candles forming, some ranging, and then another strong move down. And so this is just a very simple indicator, very popular one as well, that can pair great with the trend pulse indicator. But now here I'm going to go into another indicator that I think works even better than the parabolic would. And that is the top bottom finder by Indicator Vault as well. And here we are on the ES 60-minute chart as well. So what this does, as the name suggests as well, is it is perfect for finding actual tops and bottoms in the market, not just for entries, but even exits, which we'll get into as well in a minute. And so, this is going to work well because the trend pulse is finding, when trends are about to end and we start to see, a reversal form, that, for instance, in this, move here, that this uptrend is about to, start to range and we could see a reversal. And so that's what this is telling us here with this sell signal. This is from the trend pulse. We have another one here. And then the top bottom finder, as this line changes from blue to yellow, is indicating also that a top is in. Now we do see one more poke above, but it does not take this high, and then we just see it completely fall. So again, we see this uptrend here. Trend pulse is now giving us the alert that, this uptrend, its ebb and flow is starting to show signs that the uptrend is not going to continue, and we should start to look for down moves now. So we see a lot of ranging and consolidation here, but during that, the top bottom finder is now, also giving its alert that a top is in and we can start to look for sells. So taking one even here, of course, we have a retracement deep into the premium side of this range, but even just taking one here with your stop a little bit above the most recent high would have been just fine. We see super strong impulsive move, ranging, strong impulsive move, and this is why this is perfect for the trend pulse, is we still have the yellow line indicating that there's still downward movement. So as we see that, the trend pulse is now giving signals that, okay, this downtrend, could start to slow down. The top bottom finder is giving conflicting signals. Now, of course, taking this low, and even poking down here, taking all these lows, you should be taking profits somewhere along the way and moving your stop to break even, especially if you got in up here. That is an incredible trade, just a very small retracement before its next move down. But even once you start to see that the trend pulse is telling us that this downtrend might start to slow down, would be another great sign to take some more profits. But what do we see price do? We actually see him make one more move down. We then have a divergence forming here from the trend pulse that is picking up. So giving us another sign that, okay, this downtrend is slowing down. We can look for an uptrend. What do we see here? Just a few candles later, another buy signal, and then the top bottom finder doing exactly what it does, saying that a bottom is in. And of course, realistically, we're looking at this bottom, we're not necessarily looking at this, but taking, as this candle closes, taking a buy entry here with a stop below here, expecting a strong up move because of all the confirmations we see here, riding it up until what, again, the top bottom finder gives us, the alert that this top is now in. And of course, getting in here, we've taken out this high with this candle here, and we've taken out these highs right here, and then a perfect exit point waiting for the top bottom finder, to give us that alert as the line changes from blue to yellow. And so perfect, not even needing to be super precise. There's very many, entry methods that will give you very precise entries. And I'm not even going over those here, but just these two confluences alone would have given you, starting from up here, catching a sell all the way here, as it changes here, and then buying here all the way up until as it changes here, with the top bottom finder in great confluence with the trend pulse. And then just one last example here on the NASDAQ 30-minute chart. Same two indicators, top bottom finder along with the trend pulse. And we see here the divergence is picked up by the trend pulse, notifying that this up move is slowing down and there are signs now for a down move. And this is coming very soon after the top bottom finder has changed from blue to yellow, indicating that a top might be in. Now again, it did poke above here, but it wasn't until this candle closed that this divergence was noted by the trend pulse. So just if you're using these two alone, you would have had some indecision here only going off of the top bottom finder. But soon after, before the move has started, trend pulse finds the divergence. As soon as this candle closes, you could have entered in here, stop above here, and then very strong move. Not as long as of a trade as the previous example, but just aiming for these lows alone would have been an incredible trade. And then flip the script again. Trend pulse first gives us this buy signal here, but we're not quite ready yet because we still have the top bottom finder yellow, not giving us a sign that a bottom is in. But then here we do. And then there's two candles later, another trend pulse buy signal. You just take it here. Could have easily taken this up. This might have taken you to break even. For me personally, it probably would have, because I would have taken some partials here with potentially my stop here. Some, it also would have been reasonable to put a stop below this candle. And if that was the case, you would have been fine. But still, the logic is still playing out as we see a strong up move here until the top bottom finder is giving us that sell signal here. So would have been another incredible trade. Would have had to have been a little bit more nimble than the previous example, but the logic still plays out perfectly. So that'll be it for this video. I hope it was helpful, and until next time, best of luck trading.